तो लास्ट वीडियो में मैंने आपको बताया था कि कैसे मेरी ईस्ट की वजह से, जो कि एक्सपायर्ड थी या पुरानी थी या आई डोंट नो व्हाट वाज द रीज़न, बट उसकी वजह से मेरी 3 रेसिपीज़ ख़राब हो गई। सो दिस इज़ द सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द फेल्ड रेसिपी एंड दिस टाइम आई मेड बगेट विद मैदा, बिकॉज़ मैं होल व्हीट से ट्राई कर चुकी थी, तो मैंने सोचा क्या पता मैदा से बन जाए। But as you saw, it did not prove, the dough didn't rise, there was no oven spring and बहुत थोड़ा सा कुछ texture आया है bread में. It was still edible, but now there is a twist because this time the yeast frothed, but after an hour. So before I started making this baguette, I kept the yeast in water hoping that it will bloom, and it did bloom, but after almost 40-50 minutes. So I thought, okay, now it has bloomed, so maybe it will work. But then I just realized the yeast was slow. It was not dead fully, but it was slow. Reason why, this is a proof dough, and you can see it stuck to my hand after proofing for about 1 or 1.5 hours, and it still didn't rise. And you can clearly see how yeast was so slow that it did not make my bread rise. And still I thought, hoping that it will rise or there will be a oven spring, maybe the yeast is slow, but who knows, some magic might happen. So I shaped the baguette, and trust me, I have made baguettes, and I'm a hotel management student, so I have made baguettes in my college as well. And they turned out right, and it was perfect with all the, texture. But this time the yeast bailed on me. Now here I'm shaping the baguette, and I will put it to proof and wait for any rise, but as you know already, there was no rise, and it baked almost with no oven spring. It did have a crispy crust, reason why it was edible. But this is my learning. I know that I have to buy a different brand of yeast, and I have to check it before making bread. So if you are one of those who add the yeast directly in the flour, don't do that, because you wouldn't know if it was the yeast fault or something else. Always put the yeast in warm water with sugar and wait for it for 10-15 minutes to it for it to bloom. And if it doesn't, throw it out and get a new pack. This is my learning, this is what I do, and you should too.